Hello, Brian Turner here with another mortgage video installment. Today we're going to go over 6 tips you need to know when you refinance. Every day people turn to a mortgage lender to help with the refinance of their home. However, because many of them don't know all the important issues, they often make incorrect choices. By taking just a few minutes to familiarize yourself with these 6 tips, you can, drastically reduce the chances of making a critical error and save thousands of dollars on your mortgage. So let's get right into it. Number 1, make sure of your new interest rate. I don't mean just know what the interest rate is. I mean, make sure that you're going to be lowering your interest rate enough to justify a refinance. It's kind of a rule of thumb. You want to make sure you can decrease your interest rate by at least 3/4 of a point to a point. So, not to say that that's the only thing to think about, but if someone's calling you up and saying, hey, it's a 1/4 point lower than what you have, just don't even waste any more time because it's not worth it. So that's what I mean. So at least 3/4 of a point to a point to warrant further investigation. Know your closing costs up front. Lenders have up to 3 days to disclose closing costs by law, so they should be able to get them to you. Just keep in mind in the beginning they're estimating some things like attorney's fees and things like that. They're not really sure about that, but they ought to know their own fees. So keep that in mind and get them to give you a worst case scenario. And it's much better to do that and be happy at closing than to get sold something and go that way. So your mortgage person should be using the terms, I think this is the worst case scenario. So keep that in mind. Number 3, understand why you're refinancing. It's very simple. Simply reducing your interest rate is not enough, as I said in number 1. You want to make sure that the gains from the lower interest rate is enough to cover the cost of the refinance. And really simply, you just need to do the math. You need to divide the closing costs by the amount of money you're saving each month, which gives you the number of months it's going to take to recover your closing costs. So, for example, if you have $2,000 in closing costs and you're saving $100 a month, it's going to take you 20 months to recover your money there. So, if you're thinking you're going to sell in the next year, it's probably not a good idea to refinance. So I would think if you can break even in 20 months, you want to be thinking at least 2.5 to 3 years to make it worth your time. So 3 years, then you save $3,600, you come out $1,600 ahead. It's just a better deal. So, you want to, like I said, you want to make sure you're going to have the mortgage long enough to justify the cost. Number 4, be aware of APR advertising. A lot of times you'll see these people with these teaser APR rates. Really, usually what that is somebody's got a 30-year mortgage, but they've got an accelerated payment plan, so your monthly payments are really high. And you pay off the mortgage in like 22 years instead of 30, and they advertise it with that really low APR to get you to pick up the phone and call. So if you see a really low interest rate like that and it says APR after it, just make sure you're asking what the actual fee simple rate is, because that's what your payments are going to be based on. So ask them if it's an accelerated plan. They'll have to tell you. So just keep that in mind. Beware of APR advertising. Should you consider an adjustable rate? Adjustable rates are called ARMs, and it really depends on your situation. Typically they're like, for instance, like you can get a 5-year ARM, and typically the rate's like a 0.5 point lower than a 30-year fixed. So you save money, but after that 5 years, the rate can start to change. So, if you think you're only going to have your house for 3.5 years and then you're going to sell it, maybe you do the 5-year ARM because you come out ahead. Just keep in mind, if you keep it past that period, you're either going to have to refinance or adjust. And so, you might, all the money you saved in lower monthly payments, if you end up having to refinance, it's going to cost you that much money anyway. So just keep that in mind. Adjustable rate mortgages really aren't bad. It just depends on what your situation is. And any mortgage person can give you these breakdowns and help you figure it all out. Speaking of that, not all mortgage bankers are the same, so keep that in mind as well. You want to ask about all of the available loan products. You want to work with a banker that works with multiple investors, and don't confuse that with a broker. Brokers are kind of like middlemen that pair you up with people with the money. There's people called bankers out there that have their own money and they lend it, but they also have investors that they, a lot of times after they lend the money, will sell off to. So they just typically have more flexibility, but they still have low interest rates and low fees. So you also, the last thing you really want to think is you want a mortgage broker who's going to listen to you and help you understand the differences. Not trying to sell you something, not trying to tell you what you need to do. They're just explaining the little intricacies of each mortgage product and what the pluses and minuses are, so you can decide what's best for you. No one knows your situation like you do, and that's what it really comes down to. So at any rate, if you want to, that's the kind of mortgage person you want to work with. So at any rate, I hope this helps. This was the 6 tips for when you refinance, and I hope you're having a great day. Take care. Bye.